Welcome to Marriage Monday with Jeremiah and Savannah Jennings. The Jennings own Growing Green Landscapes and are very happily married. In this podcast, Jeremiah and Savannah discuss the wins, losses, good times, bad times, and everything in between pertaining to owning a business while maintaining a healthy marriage along the way. We hope you enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green Podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and welcome into the Marriage Monday show today. This is a new series that we're going to be starting with me and my wife, Savannah, and she's going to be the new co-host for this Growing Green Podcast Marriage Monday new series that we have coming out. And what is Marriage Monday? So we kind of went through this last week on what Marriage Monday is, and it's something that we wanted to do to kind of help the people out there in the green industry, but also just all business owners, all entrepreneurs who are taking on the journey of owning a business and being married at the same time. And there's a lot of stress that goes along with that. So many trials and struggles along the way, and so many hard times that will fall upon you, so many good times to go along with it. But it's just something that I feel like isn't discussed enough. And what we did last week is we did a little intro show, and we talked about what Marriage Mondays was going to be and what it's going to be about. And so I'm not going to go too far into that whole spiel again. You can go back and listen to that episode. But today we wanted to roll out episode 2 and really start diving into the topics we wanted to discuss. But we had some technical difficulties with the office that we record in, and we had some major echo issues going on, and it's just something that we weren't able to work out in time to get this episode out. So we're working on that, real life, real time. We're working on that and getting that fixed, and we should have that fixed by next Monday. So we should have, Savannah should be here joining me, but the setup that we have here and the way we have to record this is we can't both record here at the same time because it just gives off terrible echoes and just some other stuff. It's a long story, but y'all don't care about that. I know you don't care about that, but I just wanted to tell you that we're not giving up on Marriage Mondays by any means at all. This is going to be really fun. I am super pumped and excited for this, and I think it can go very, very far, especially if we get a community backing behind it. I think it can go very far, and if you really dive in and learn and just have an open mind to what we're going to talk about, I think you can learn a lot. And it's not anything that you're going to learn from me or from Savannah, but we've learned a lot from other people and other successful people, other successful marriages that our friends have, and other people that we just look up to in life, people that we don't even know, but we follow them on social media and I almost said read, I don't know, and books that we've read about people who have successful marriages and Bible studies we've gone through, and everything goes along with that. So that's what we want to get out of the show is we want to help anybody in that way, shape, or form that we can. So today I want to come on here, just like I said, to tell you what was up. I didn't want to just put out a blank show and not put one out because then people would be asking, well, what happened? Why didn't it come out? Just want to give you a little rundown. That's what happened. We had just some technical difficulties that we're working on, and we're going to get those worked out. And by next Monday, we should be rolling out a fresh new episode on communication. So if you haven't heard, if you listened last week, you heard a list of topics that we talked about we're going to discuss. Communication is one that I'm very passionate about. It's something that me and Savannah have had to work on in our marriage for the last 2 years, even really just the whole time we've been dating, which is, I don't know, 5 years, I think, something like that, a little over 5 years. And it's just something that is crucial. Like, you can't run a business without communication. You can't be happily married without correct communication. And I wish I had the definition of communication from Webster's Dictionary. I don't have that, but let me know what your definition of communication is. Mine is you just have to be clear and you have to tell the other person what's happening in your life and what's going on in your day-to-day, what finances are. We're not going to go into communication today. That's, like I said, I want Savannah here. We're going to have a good discussion about it, and we're going to talk about things that we've both learned and grown along the way. But I want to give you a little preview of what communication is going to be next week, and I think it's a really good one. So tell your friends about the show, share it, and if you have friends who run businesses or are engaged or seriously dating somebody, that just this is going to be overall relationship advice when you're running a business together, I think is what we want to do here. So I do have one quote that I want to talk about really quickly before we hang up, try to put a little bit of value into the show, not just a total 5-minute short little spill here. But one quote that I got here today off of the old powerful Google is, "The greatest marriages are built on teamwork, a mutual respect, a healthy dose of admiration, and a never-ending portion of love and grace." Fawn Weaver wrote that. And that's something that is very, very good, and it's simple, but kind of intense. I mean, greatest marriages are built on teamwork, and there's no I in team. And there is an I in marriage, I guess, But you're not going to have a successful marriage if you think it's all about yourself. And that's something that when you live for 20 or 25 or 30 years maybe before you get married, and you live for yourself for all those years, and I feel like it could be worse for people that kind of like live in from like their 20s to their 30s by themselves. They're really adults and they live out on their own. It could really be all about you. Like, you live your life the way you want to live it. It's a little bit different if you're in high school and you live under your parents and things like that. But if you live for 10 years and it's all about you, you do whatever you want to, marriage is going to be a real big adjustment for you. And I got married very early. I mean, I was 20 when we got married, so never really lived out on my own for long at all. Like, literally 2 months, I think I lived in the house that we rented our first year of marriage, but by myself. But teamwork is something that you have to learn, and playing on sports teams is a great way to learn that. I think that helped me growing up. It kind of helped me mature a lot faster because I played a lot of sports growing up: football, baseball, basketball. I don't even remember. I played soccer one year, I think. A lot of stuff along the way that we played on teams, and it really helps you. But you have to know that going into marriage you have to be a team, and that's something that we talked about with our parents, and Santa's parents always told us is you're a team, and you never go against each other when it comes to other people. Like, you never talk bad about other people about your spouse to other people under any circumstances. And so that's part of that teamwork is you don't dog your team. Your team is your team, and you don't talk bad about them to other teams. And so that's something that just really, I wanted to just talk about that quote real quick. A mutual respect, a healthy dose of admiration, and a never-ending portion of love and grace. And love and grace is something that is crucial in a marriage. If you don't have love and you don't have grace, good luck surviving. Grace is a big thing. So grace is the definition. What is the definition of grace? The biblical definition of grace is getting something you don't deserve. And mercy is God not giving you what you do deserve. So grace is you get something that you don't deserve. That's the definition of grace there. So you have to have grace. My wife, Savannah, would be giving me grace if I did something wrong and I deserved if I deserved punishment and she didn't punish me or get on to me or have a bad attitude or anything like that. Like, she didn't visibly tell me what was wrong, or I don't know, that's a bad way to put it. Not visibly tell me what was wrong. If she didn't blow up on me for some reason and she had a good reason to blow up on me, but she didn't, then she showed me grace. And so that's something that happens all the time. Like, there's a lot of times Savannah should blow up on me, but she doesn't. And she does a really good job of distributing love and grace. And it's a never ending. You sign a marriage, you sign that covenant, and you never end. That's my firm belief there. And not to say that if you are divorced and remarried that and we're not going to get into biblical convictions right now of all that, but you do you. But my definition of marriage is you do it one time and you don't do it ever again. And so I think a lot of people out there do believe that. People make mistakes along the way. That's going to happen. And like I said, I'm not going to I'm not old enough, I'm not wise enough to sit here and give out advice on marriage and long-term things like that. I just want to do the best I can and give back what little bit we have when it comes to building quality relationships with your spouse and helping run the business together. So, like I said, next week, communication is going to be a really, really good show. And it's going to start the journey down this show of Marriage Mondays and the things that come along with that. If you have topics, we had a pretty good response last week when we put out the show, the kind of the filler, the introduction. We had a good response, and I think people are excited about it. So if you have topics you want to hear discussed specifically, reach out and let me know, because we have a few here. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 weeks that we know we're going to go through. We know we're going to get some guests on. But I want to talk about the topics that are real life, the people that have kids are going through, or people that are young and married and young in business are going through, because that's our target audience is young in business on this podcast. Guys who are young in business is who we target. So maybe if you're young and married and young in business, what are some things that you, maybe in your first year, your first 6 months, maybe some things that I've already forgotten, but you're going through them right now. What are some topics that you want to hear discussed? And reach out to me on Instagram. The link to that will be in the show notes. You can just click on the link and it'll take you straight to my Instagram. You can DM me and let me know any questions that you have. So looking forward to Marriage Mondays. It's going to be a very fun show. I'm looking forward to putting out content 3 times a week now, and coming into thank you for allowing us to come into your ears every single week and do it 3 times a week. It's an honor. It's a blessing. I don't take it for granted. I never want to. I don't ever want y'all to think we do. And I don't want to ever think we're just out here trying to make a dollar or anything like that. We're really trying to invest in people's lives and give a little bit back that we've learned along the way. So if you do appreciate it, we would love a rating and review. I know this show hasn't been anything. It's literally like 10 minutes long, but just wanted to come here and update you on where we're at. Marriage Monday is not going anywhere. Just had some serious technical difficulties that we got to get figured out here this week, and we should be coming to you live on Monday of next week, and with episode, I guess we could really call it episode 1 of Marriage Monday, and the topic is going to be communication. So we're very, very excited to get into it. We're thankful that y'all are here listening. Like I said, leave us a rating and review. That would really help us and boost us and get us out there to more married couples along the way. And if this thing really takes off, who knows where it can go? We might end up having to break out into another podcast or something. We'll see what happens on the road, but we're just very, very excited for this opportunity. So thanks again for tuning in, and we look forward to catching up with you here on the next episode.